my favorite part of the trip was probably the tours and the magic shops that I went to. The first tour I went on was called the Salem Witch Walk, and my tour guide's name was Tom. He was delightful. I really like the Salem Witch Walk because it's not. I love scary tours. Those are fun. I love those, but I liked it was more informative and kind of had more of a positive spin on it. And I enjoyed that. We actually started the tour off with a ritual, so that's fun. It wasn't like not a scary ritual for all of you who are a little wary. It was a very, very nice, very chill ritual. And the Salem Witch Walk actually operates out of the country's oldest magic shop called Crowhaven's Corner. It's operated by a lovely lady named Lorelei. She also takes part in a charity called Salem Saves Animals. So look up Crowhaven's Corner, look up Salem Saves Animals. It's a wonderful charity. I really wanted to give them a shout out. I really like the Salem Witch Walk because it gave us, an insight to, some of the witch trial history, but it also, it told me, our tour guide told me a lot of positive things, in regards to witchcraft in Salem. Here's a fun little tidbit. I'm not like a huge fan of the show Bewitched. I've talked about it before and I'll probably talk about it again. But apparently because of the show Bewitched, the town's, attitude towards witches and also its economy kind of, got a little bit of a boost. Long story short, during the time that the show was being made, there was a big fire in Hollywood and the set burned down. And so the producers of Bewitched did a little research and they actually decided to film a couple episodes of Bewitched in Salem. And, so the episodes were kind of just about, Salem and what have you. And it kind of, it made everybody want to go there. And the tourism industry boomed. And soon, like, every little shop owner was, kind of turning their shops into, like, kitschy magic shops and saying that they were real witches, even though they weren't. And so, but that attracted real witches to come to Salem and kind of reclaim the magic and reclaim the witchiness of the city. And so it's kind of turned, it's much more positive, and everyone in these magic shops just seems so happy and light and comforting. So that's fun, even though I'm not a huge fan of Bewitched, even though Elizabeth Montgomery is delightful. I'm grateful that that show helped Salem so much. Also, Crowhaven's Corner, I actually got a tarot card reading done there by a lovely lady named Miss Kim, and she was like scarily accurate. I don't know if I'm just an easy read or what, but yeah, it's kind of bizarre how accurate she was. So that was fun. There are like cheaper, you can get your readings done in almost every magic shop in Salem. It can range from anywhere from $10 to $30. I think you'll get a pretty decent reading no matter which one you go to. The one I went to was $30. I know I'm trying to be witchy on a budget, but I wanted my reading done in the oldest magic shop in the country. Sue me. It was for the effect. I also took a tour called the Spellbound Tour, which was a bit, a little scarier. It talked a little bit more about the tragedy that was the witch trial. I really liked the tour guide. He was very charming. He was a hoot and a half. It was a little bit scarier. He took us through one of the older graveyards and told us some spooky stories surrounding some of the graves. It even gave me a little chill, made my heart kind of heavy and stuff. One little funny thing, if you go to Salem, Massachusetts, you are going to hear the Giles Corey story over and over and over again. Yeah. Anyone that knows the story about the Salem witch trials, Giles Corey, he was the one that wouldn't confess guilty or not guilty. And so they pressed him to death until they could get a confession out of him, but he was just like, more weight. And everyone calls him he was the badass of the witch trials. And I'm sure he was a badass. He was kind of an asshole. He liked to sue people, just willy-nilly. And he liked to, beat people up. and it was speculated that he murdered his first wife. So, sorry, Giles, but yeah, you're not really the badass that everyone says you are. But one badass, the first woman to die in the witch trials was Bridget Bishop. I learned a lot about her. She was really cool. She was basically a woman that puritanical society would absolutely just despise. She remarried. She owned property. She owned really nice property. And it was speculated that she ran like kind of like a gambling like shuffleboard den in her house or something, and she like always wore red, which was very scandalous at the time. So basically she was just like a scandalous woman. And yeah, so the town basically just wanted to get rid of her, so that's why they accused her of witchcraft. But she sounds like a badass and like a woman we should all aspire to be. I tried not to, but I did do some shopping. I did some that was just Christmas shopping for my mom and dad. But I did purchase some things for myself. I got some candles to light. I got some stones, and I did purchase a book that I will probably talk about later um, in a later episode. It's the I believe it's Aradia. It's called Aradia, the Gospel of Witches by Charles Leland. And I'm reading it. I read it on the flight back, and it's interesting. It's interesting. I like it, but I think it needs to be discussed, if you know what I mean. Like it's a Gospel of Witches written by a dude in the 1800s who was a comedian. He was a humorist and a journalist. So I feel like there's some things in the book that probably needs to be addressed. Yeah, but we're going to talk about that later. All in all, I had possibly the best time in Salem that I've had in a very long time. I even went during the full moon, so extra witchy points. Um, I had so much fun. It was very calming. It was just calming. And there was no stress. I got to just walk around this beautiful and historic city. Um, I ate some great food and drank some wonderful hot chocolate at this lovely cafe called Gulu Gulu Cafe. I met some really nice people and very interesting people. And I I was just blown away by how hospitable and kind and beautiful the locals are. And yeah, I really I can't wait to go back because I'm definitely going to go back. And I recommend everybody, witches, non-witches, people that are just interested in witchy shit. Um, please go visit Salem. Please, it's beautiful, and it's really cold. It's very cold. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Like I wanted to move there from. No, I wasn't an hour into the city, and I wanted to move there. But then I remembered that try as I might, I am an Atlanta girl, and I seem to remember a Super Bowl incident a couple of years ago. I'm still a little bit salty about that Super Bowl. But in all seriousness, it's a wonderful place. Please visit there. Please go any time of the year, not just during their size tourist season, which is October, obviously, but go any time of year. It's so pretty and just so magic. It's literally magical. You step in and you just feel a sense of magic in the whole city. So please go and have a wonderful time. If you have been to Salem, please tell me about your experiences in the comment section, and also leave some good vibes for Boo. I love you guys, and thank you for watching. This has been White Trash Witches, witchy stuff on a budget. We need to come up with a better tagline. I'll talk to Boo about that. Anyway, bye-bye.